Hi everyone, we're in the Cobb TV offices today, my office, for our conversation with Chairwoman Lisa Cupid. And Chairwoman, we're wearing masks, so that means the first topic obviously has to be what's going on with COVID-19.
Yes, unfortunately, we are seeing our rate of transmission rise beyond what's considered a high level of transmission. We are at over 300 cases out of 100,000 people, which means that we should be taking precautions to help reduce the spread. And we appreciate all of those in Cobb County who have been doing that by getting vaccinated. But we know that there's still a lot of people in our community that have not been vaccinated. And this Delta variant is impacting those both vaccinated and unvaccinated. And so we're just putting on our masks for out of sake of being cautious about this variant and the impact that it's having, and just encourage the public to do what they can to help reduce the spread.
We've received a lot of calls from people, obviously, about what we are going to do about COVID and this latest spike. And there's questions about mask mandates and all that. We've put some stuff in place internally here in Cobb County. But what do you say to those people who are asking you what's next?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that I encourage any and everyone to do is take care of yourself first. If you are concerned about masks, please wear a mask. And we feel questions with respect to our, the broader public, and just want to encourage people to do what they can for themselves. But there are some things that we can do as a county. We're strongly encouraging masks, but we'll have additional conversation next week. Every month we have an update from Cobb Douglas Public Health, and we want to make sure that we are being a good partner. And we're looking to hear from them to see what additional steps they would like for us to take to make sure we're keeping Cobb County safe at this time.
Right. And right before we started this, I actually got the latest stats from our Cobb and Douglas Public Health partners. Mm-hmm. We're up to 399 cases per 100,000, which continues to go up. They say the cases double each week. Yeah. And the problem is that's been putting the pressure on the hospitals. And I know you've been talking to them about their situation and how we can help deal with that.
Yes, reality is that we have limited resources from a medical care perspective. And if you can think back to last year, one of our concerns was that we would reach capacity at our hospitals, which is why we put in a lot of measures in place for people to wash their hands, watch their distance, and wear their mask. We wanted to reduce the spread, but we also wanted to reduce the burden that was on our hospitals here. That burden has been increasing, unfortunately, again, with the increase of the Delta variant. We don't have the numbers that we need to have of people getting vaccinated. And so, yes, some people have experienced lengthy wait times, and we don't want it to become any longer than what it needs to be, because there are other health issues in our community beyond COVID. So please, I can't emphasize for the public to do what they can to make sure that they're getting vaccinated. Encourage your loved ones, your peers to get vaccinated, and also do what you can to take other precautions, because this Delta variant is impacting all of us.
And one thing that we've been helping with public health officials, that there a lot of the events that we host, you have the opportunity to get vaccinated there. Public health told us they're seeing an increasing number of people interested now in getting vaccinated during this latest surge. And so we will continue to partner with them to make these available.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. Throughout this time, my office has been holding biweekly health equity meetings with public health to see how we can get into the community and reach areas that were reticent to become vaccinated. And they've been holding community events, and will still continue to do so if we can gather 20 or more people to get vaccinated. So if you're interested in a vaccination event near you, as long as you can get us a list of people who would like to be vaccinated, we will team up with Cobb and Douglas Public Health to get someone out there. And we're very fortunate that they have been proactive in partnering with some of our organizations, including our recreation facilities, to be at a number of back-to-school events. So as families are picking up supplies for their children, they can also get vaccinated along with their children, as long as they're 12 and over, so that, again, we are helping to increase that number and hopefully reduce the spread.
One of the things that goes along with COVID that we've been dealing with a lot is, of course, the effects on our residents, many of whom are having trouble paying their rent and utilities.
Yes.
We have programs in place, I should say, at cobbcounty.org/ERA, to give it a shout out, where people can get assistance. It's been difficult sometimes to get that word out. We've sent mailers out. We've done a bunch of different things. And there's also something on the agenda this Tuesday that will assist in getting that program going.
Thank you for bringing that up. We had a work session a few weeks ago to talk about the work in partnership with our service providers to distribute our emergency rental assistance funds. And what we learned is that there has been a limited administrative fee that's been permitted with that ERA program, and how additional resources would be helpful to be able to get those funds out sooner. And so we will be utilizing our American Rescue Plan money in order to augment that administrative fee so that that is not a hurdle. Even though there are people we would like to get those funds out to sooner, we have done, I believe, a superb job of getting those funds out as quickly as possible, considering the circumstances. Many of our states have not given out more than 5% of their ERA funds for emergency rental assistance, and our 5 service providers have given out, I believe, about 50% of those funds, which far surpasses that. And that has to do with a lot of their commitment to ensuring that they are stabilizing housing for families, and they've been doing that before the pandemic. And also, I believe it's these efforts that we have, such as the one through your office, Ross, to get the word out through mailers, and also our partnership with Magistrate Court to make sure that if anybody comes before him, that he's working directly with our service providers to help residents.
And right before we started this broadcast, the chief magistrate just sent me his latest FAQs, as frequently asked questions, on the extension of the evictions moratorium until October.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag. I know you hear from both sides. You hear from tenants, you hear from landlords, but with this latest surge, this is probably a relief.
Of course it is. We're hearing from families about the challenges that they anticipated having come the 31st of this year, when the moratorium that was originally in place ended. However, as you have observed, this has been a stressful time for many of our landlords who have been working with tenants and trying to keep them housed, but also trying to make sure that they have a place to keep them housed, because they still have mortgage payments to attend to. So I encourage people that even though the moratorium has been extended, do not wait to get assistance to be able to address any rents that you may owe, because it helps you in the short run to be able to keep a roof over your head. But more largely, it helps to make sure that you still have a home to keep a roof over your head in, because many of our landlords, they are small mom and pop landlords, and they are also experiencing some challenges at this time to make ends meet. And we want to make sure that we're helping as many people as possible.
Yeah, and this is, again, a situation that doesn't seem to have any clear, defined end at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of uncertainty for a lot of people.
It is. So do the things that can help make things as certain as possible. We don't know what, we only know so much about the Delta variant and how it's spreading or mutating, but we do know that we can get vaccinated. We do know, as people have gotten vaccinated, that transmission numbers went down. Please continue to do that. We do know that over 90% of people being admitted to hospitals are the unvaccinated. So please do what you can with the information that you know that can be helpful to keep you healthy and to keep our community healthy during this time.
All right, I want to ask you one question that I didn't say I was going to ask you before we started this. But here we are, we're in August now, so you've been through 7 months as chairwoman at this point. I look at your schedule, it is jammed every week, and I just want to get your thoughts on how you're feeling after this first 7 months in office.
Wow, it's been a whirlwind, but I'm feeling hopeful. As much as it has been challenging, it's been rewarding to get through those challenges. And I think for anyone coming into such a role as this, you never know all that you're going to see and face, but I certainly do see better days ahead for all of us, because I see people coming together and working together to address a lot of the challenges that we had in our community, whether it be COVID, whether it be our housing crisis, addressing transportation issues. And we had an effort where we had different consultants come out and advise us. There's just so many things where I see people coming together for the good of our county, and it makes me believe that any challenge that comes before us, we can certainly overcome.
Chairwoman Lisa Cupid will be in the center seat when the Board of Commissioners holds its regular meeting Tuesday at 9 o'clock. You can watch that by going to cobbcounty.org/Cobb TV. If you happen to be watching this after the meeting, it'll be on our YouTube channel in forever, I should say. And you can watch it then. We've got a lot of information, too. I mentioned about the ERA program and the new evictions moratorium. That'll be on the cobbcounty.org website, so we invite you to take advantage of that as well. Sign up for her newsletter and all of our newsletters at cobbcounty.org/subscribe. And I could go on, but we're going to wrap this up right now. And Chairwoman, we'll see you Tuesday at the meeting and hopefully here next week.
Sounds good, Ross. Thank you always for doing these with me every week.
Absolutely.